Hey everybody, Applenaut here. How's it growing? Over the years I've actually been putting together a pretty big library of books. If I can grow it and eat it, then I want to know about it. And so in order to do that, I've actually had to have a lot of books. And so over the years I've been collecting and collecting and collecting. And I have a few shelves this size that I could fill full of books. But because we've been moving around a lot, books are heavy, I just kind of keep this little core library together in order for me to, do some reading if I need to do some research on something. So anyways, like I said, I've been collecting these for a lot of years. I get a lot of them off of the collectible books, the older books from the 1800s and the turn of the century books. I got those from like eBay, Amazon. They cost a few dollars, but it was really worth it in the end. Yeah, basically what I want this video to be is just to show you the titles and the names of the authors of these books, and so that if you want to get online and try and find them yourself, you might be able to find them as an ebook, so that you can access them online. But for me, I've really just enjoyed buying the books. But what's most important too is I like having the physical book here. It gives me a tie to the past. If anything ever happened to the internet, my computer crashed or something, I would not lose all the information. I've actually got all the information here. And sometimes I just like to lie down and read a book at night. So anyways, yeah, books are pretty fun. And so here are the titles. And there's no autofocus on this Canon 60D camera I'm using, so I have to do everything manually. And if there's a title that we can't quite zoom in on, then I'll just have to read it out aloud. So this one here, this brown one, it's called The Apple, and it's by Sir Daniel Hall. Everybody knows about the apples in New York. This little blue one here, this is called the Biggles Orchard book. So it was just some book that I picked up on eBay. Had some variety descriptions in there that I liked and pictures. Fields Pear Culture is this blue one here. This one's called The Small Fruit Culturalist, so it's more about berries and things like that. This one's Eliot's Fruit Book, and that is a compendium of all fruits, apples, berries, things like that, around the 1850s in the United States. This little sliver of a book here, this is actually just something that was put together by the University of British Columbia, the Friends of the Garden or something like that. Put that together for their apple festival. And the other brown sliver little book here is actually just a book that was put together by somebody in the 70s, I believe. And they're just descriptions taken directly from apples of New York. And yeah, there was another book in here. There was a little sliver of a book in here too. And this one is The Apple Cultivars of Puget Sound. This book right here in the center, I want to say something about this real quick too. Pruning of Apples and Pears by Renewal Methods, C.R. Thompson, Thompson. That is the go-to book for pruning for me. And that's all I'm going to say about it. I have a lot of books here, and that is the one that I go to every time. This one here is The Handbook of Fruits, Apples and Pears by Edward Bunyard. That's in the 20s. This little black slivered book here, this is a 1903 publication from the United States titled Hardy Pears and Ornamentals. The leather-bound book here, this is actually just the condensed, smaller version of Downing's Fruit Trees of America. And then I've got the plums of England, and then the Directory of Apple Cultivars by Martin Crawford. And so that's pretty much my fruit books anyways, and then these are the ones that are a little bit more my textbooks. So some of these are actually university college textbooks from times gone past, and I guess what I should say is that some of the information in some of these books may not be current, but plants still grow the same way they have been for millions of years. So that information is still the same. What may have changed is some of the cultural practices that people think we should be doing. This book here is fruit growing in arid regions, and it's one of the books in this series of rural sciences. But anyways, going back to cultures and practices, yeah, like we don't use arsenic or DDT anymore on a lot of things. So that stuff might be a little bit out of date. But, you know, pruning styles, like if you want to know anything about pruning in espaliers or summer pruning or all of those sort of things, all that information is still the same. This is a book of plant propagation, this one here. And yeah, so that's just a little shot of the books that I've been using over the years to teach me what it is that I know. And I hope this helps out somewhat.